Hello everyone, Father John Dunn with you on the 29th Sunday of the Church's year. I want to begin with an invitation. Pope Francis has declared a World Synod whereby we seek to discern together and listen to everyone's voices about the future, the way our Church should go across the world. Bishop Pat is starting the process tonight in Auckland with a service by Zoom and he invites you to join in with that or other social media. The links are in my newsletter, which you can get on the parish websites, or you can go to the Auckland Catholic Diocese website, search for Synod, and you'll get all the details there. So for us and our reflection on the readings, we're in level 3 again and again and again. It's getting really, really hard. Moreover, we're struggling now to contain the virus, and also things like school has been postponed. Not easy at all. Can the readings speak to us today? I believe they can, because Mark is talking to us in these Sundays about the meaning of being a disciple, a follower of Jesus. It means not just simply following Jesus, but it is also following him in his work for bringing about the kingdom of God, a kingdom where all people are firstborn children, are loved sons and daughters of God, where there is inclusion, hope, there is no hunger, no fear, peace, inclusion, joy. So this is, last Sunday we had the rich young man, and Jesus invited him to drop his baggage, which was riches. He was defining himself not by who he was, but by something outside of himself, what he had. And once he had done that and found his authentic self, he was free to follow Jesus and give himself for the coming of the kingdom. Today we find two of the earliest disciples, James and John, revealing themselves as men with a lust for power and position. Pope Francis these days is talking about the great sin of clericalism in the church, and the priests, we have to beat our breasts there. But what they want, he says, is something. He doesn't reply, but he simply asks them, can you drink the cup that I am to drink and be baptized with the baptism into which I will be baptized? These symbols speak for us in two ways. One is Jesus didn't just come to suffer. He brought a cup of joy, of inclusion, of hope. And in his ministry, as he gathered people around it, that was the cup of the beginning. However, he knew that once he started preaching an alternate kingdom, the consequences would follow. And the consequences, of course, would be that Herod and the Romans would arrest him, give him a trumped-up trial, torture him, put him to death. That seems often the last cup of the Last Supper, but it's the cup of the journey. And can you drink the cup? Yes, we can. And they have no idea of the full part of the journey and where they were in it and where they were heading. Sound familiar? And then again, the relationships amongst the disciples. Whoever wants to be first will be last, last of all to be servant of all. This can invite an inauthentic, look at me, I'm so humble and proud of it. And again, the inauthenticity of being a human being who is truly following Jesus. We are called to be who we are in good times and in suffering times, and like Sister Rose, to be able to embrace the present. Jesus then says that he comes not to be served, but to serve and to give his life as a ransom for the many. The ransom is a word which means the buying back of slaves. A slave could ransom himself or herself by paying a price, or somebody could do it for them. But it means setting people free. So the idea of embracing the present situation in order to claim our authentic self, to grow in love, to set people free, to use the time, no matter how hard it is, to reach out in love and to be our authentic selves. This, I think, is the call of the gospel. At the bottom, nobody can understand suffering. I believe that we need to hold on to the love of God and do what we can to eliminate all kinds of suffering that we can. In this sense, I think Mark tells us, Jesus says, "Come, follow me." And in that following, may we find hope and love this week, and to reflect the call to be our beautiful best selves, to embrace the moment, to give ourselves for the freedom of others, to spread hope, and to have a passion for the future of our world, and that it might become the kingdom of God. No more hunger, no more war, no more fear, and a healthy and life-giving environment.